The first day of NFL free agency, it's just pure chaos, isn't it? An absolute whirlwind. You've got massive contracts flying around, legendary players switching teams, and the entire landscape of the league just gets turned upside down in a few hours. Today, we're going to make sense of that frenzy, focusing on the moves that shocked everybody, the quarterback dominoes, and the high-stakes standoffs that really defined the day. All right, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First up, we'll dive into the opening shockwaves. I'm talking the deals that nobody saw coming. Then we are going to untangle the quarterback dominoes and see how one single move changed, well, everything. From there, we'll look at a superstar standoff with the entire league, check in with the experts for their instant analysis, and finally, we'll explore the ripple effect to see what could happen next. You know, every free agency has its surprises, but this year, Day one started with a couple of deals that felt truly seismic. These weren't just big contracts. These were moves that altered the very identity of franchises and set a tone of wild unpredictability for the whole day. And the first stunner came fast. In a move almost nobody predicted, the reigning Super Bowl MVP running back Kenneth Walker is leaving Seattle. He's headed to the Kansas City Chiefs on a 3-year, $28 million guaranteed deal. Just think about that for a second. A Super Bowl MVP changing teams right after winning it all? That almost never happens. This move sent a clear message across the league. No one is off the table. And then, bam! Just moments later, another absolute icon made his move. After 12 incredible seasons, his entire career, in Tampa Bay, the legendary receiver Mike Evans is saying goodbye. He's heading to the San Francisco 49ers on a 3-year, $60 million contract. He's chasing a new chapter, and you gotta think, a chance at another ring. Yeah, stunner is pretty much the only word for it. These weren't just business transactions. These were foundational players, the faces of their teams, making moves that completely changed the landscape. This is that frantic, emotional energy that makes the first day of free agency just so compelling to watch. Okay, next up, let's track the quarterback dominoes. It's always fascinating to see how the most important position in sports can create this chain reaction, where one team's decision just instantly sets off a series of moves that impacts 3 different franchises. And you can see the sequence laid out perfectly right here. It all kicked off in Miami. The Dolphins decided to move on from their starter, Tua Tagovailoa. They didn't waste any time pivoting quickly to sign former Packers quarterback Malik Willis. That, of course, left Tua without a team, but not for long. Almost immediately, he found a new home on a 1-year prove-it deal with the Atlanta Falcons. See, one move just triggers the next. Now, what's so fascinating here is how this chain reaction created 2 totally different opportunities. For Tua, this is a chance to hit the reset button. He goes to Atlanta, the starting job is his to lose. It's a perfect situation to try and revive his career. Meanwhile, Malik Willis lands in Miami, a team that's rebuilding. So the pressure's off. It gives him a chance to develop without the immediate risk of failure. It's really a calculated gamble for everyone involved. So while all these contracts were being signed and ink was drying, one of the biggest names on the market? Crickets. Let's shift to the high-stakes game of chicken being played between one elite player and pretty much every front office in the NFL. That's right, while contracts were flying left and right, phones were ringing off the hook. Premier pass rusher Trey Hendrickson was just conspicuously quiet. He's been talking with teams, sure, but so far, a deal has remained just out of reach. And this chart tells you exactly why he's being so patient. Hendrickson is literally watching the market reset right before his eyes. He sees Danielle Hunter get a whopping $40 million a year. He sees Jalen Phillips get a shocking $30 million a year. And in his mind, he belongs in that exact same tier, and he's just waiting for a contract that says so. And that really gets to the heart of this standoff. Sources describe him as a strong-minded, prideful person who is simply unwilling to compromise on his value. He's waited his whole career for this moment, and he is betting on himself, holding out until a team meets his price. It's a bold strategy, for sure, and you gotta respect the conviction. So with the first wave of signings in the books, let's turn to the experts. We've gathered some of the instant reactions from ESPN's top analysts to see who they're calling the early winners, the losers, and the biggest gamblers of day one. And man, the opinions are all over the map, which is what makes this so fun. You've got Dan Orlovsky focusing on how teams like the Titans and Saints are doing a great job building around their young quarterbacks. Then you have Dominique Foxworth going bold, already declaring the Rams the new Super Bowl favorites. Peter Schrager pointed to the bloodletting of talent in Philadelphia, and Mike Griziano called the Malik Willis signing in Miami a perfect marriage. A little bit of everything. But here's the thing about day one. It's never the end of the story. It's really just the beginning. Every single one of these moves has created a ripple effect, leaving us with a whole new set of fascinating questions that are going to shape the rest of this offseason. So now several major storylines are just hanging in the balance. I mean, when the Saints signed Travis Etienne, what does that mean for Alvin Kamara's future? Where will other quarterbacks like Kyler Murray and Geno Smith end up? After losing so much talent, what is Philadelphia's countermove going to be? And of course, the big one, who blinks first in the Trey Hendrickson standoff? And that's what we're left with. Day one was a whirlwind of stunning deals and strategic chess moves that have completely reshaped the league. But the biggest takeaway is that this isn't an ending. It's just the chaotic, thrilling opening act for the rest of the NFL offseason. And who knows, the biggest move might still be out there.